It's Friday, and I've got that Friday feeling. Thank God it is Friday. And there's a lot of things that I want to cover in the news today. There's a fun thing today, because we haven't covered like a funny thing. It's like I found a funny thing on the forum, and I was like, do you know what? That is going in, and that'll be going in as the last news segment. But there are a lot of things that people are incredibly passionate about at the moment in the game, and the state of the affairs of the game, especially when it comes to the daily login calendar. So let's get into these news stories. And our first story indeed is all about the daily login calendar. Obviously, as we can see here, this is the December login calendar 2017. And it isn't to everybody's liking. There's a lot of things that a lot of people will kind of go, well, I'd want more of this. Some people may reference last year's and say, hey, it is a step up. Granted, that has to be a case in fact in the game based on the devaluation of 5 stars and a lot of other things that I constantly, you know, moan and whinge and bitch about. But it's just the state of affairs of the game that you will see more of the kind of higher kind of tier stuff in the game in general when it comes to calendars. But what have we got here? Nothing really substantial. We've got obviously the gift on the 25th of December, and this maybe starts a gifting event which may come soon. It depends. Kabam ran it last year with regards to the gifting event. Whether or not they'll do it this year, really don't know. But there's a lot of things that they have to do in a very short space of time. They have to run the new update. They also have to release a special holiday calendar. They have to do something for their birthday, which I made the mistake. I said it's the 14th of December. It's not. It's actually on the 10th of December, which, as we can see up here, it is indeed the 10th of December. So sorry about that. It's not the 14th, it's the 10th. And that obviously hasn't stopped people kind of voicing their opinion on the forum. There's a hell of a lot of different posts which all reference the same thing with regards to their opinions on it. A lot of people have gone full ham straight in and gone like, this is bad. And you know, this opinion poll does kind of represent that, as it says basically December calendar disappointing. 5% say they like it. I hate it is 37%. Meh, free stuff is 26%. I'm okay with it, but maybe there will be a Christmas calendar at 31%. And obviously a lot of people, again, just going full ham on it. Obviously, I understand people's frustrations, but at the same time, I think we need to just wait and give Kabam 10 days to kind of say what they're delivering for their birthday, what are they delivering with regards to the Christmas calendar, is it going to be substantial? And I think that's the point that we can then go, do you know what, you haven't done enough, we're a bit pissed. And that really being said, you know, we've got a lot of things to really look forward to in December. As I said, you know, we've got the potential, well, hopefully we would have had a decent December calendar, which we don't, but let's just wait and see. So we've got potentially a holiday calendar. We've got a gifting event, maybe better deals coming for Christmas and maybe even New Year. Potentially something for the birthday, as well as the new event that's coming in. And you kind of think with people being off on the holidays that they'll be able to grind out a substantial amount of kind of stuff in the game. So that's going to be a really exciting time. December is a really good time for the game. So let's just see what they have on offer for the next kind of 9 days, or maybe an announcement to say what's up. And obviously, if you follow MCC News, make sure you've got notifications on and all that stuff, because I will cover this as this goes live into the game. And if you want to have your say on the items that we've discussed, as well as this one in particular, then obviously links are in the description below. Our next story is this one here, which is kind of an opinion poll, which I think is very important, especially because people are talking about science champions. And in particular, this post says, do we need more science champions as soon as possible? And the consensus at the moment is yes, and usable science heroes would be nice. And I think that's a good point. With regards to what sciences are used in different areas of the game, you can see a great use of certain ones like Quake and also Hulk in certain aspects of, well, I like Hulk in Realm of Legends for permastun. I haven't used Quake so much because I haven't got it 4-star and not really kind of interested with her 3-star counterpart that I've got. But there are, I think, it's very rare to find a decent science champion. It's one thing to like find decent science champions, but the one thing where you place them in what parts of the game. Captain America World War II for me was kind of a big linchpin in Alliance Quest fighting. So we've got Captain America World War II, Quake and Hulk. Now, what other champions would you say would be usable in that sense with regards to stuff in the game? And I think a lot of people will struggle to find certain science champions to use in different areas. Yes, you could say Spider-Man, again, is a kind of a good addition to that. That puts us up to 4. But then that's disappointing to say that a lot more other science champions aren't usable in that kind of way. And unfortunately, the opinion polls so far kind of put in that kind of way that people do want more science champions. but you know, ones that could be usable in maybe even end game content would be nice. But that's something that I think Kabam need to really address. And it should be fairly obvious to people that we haven't seen a strong science presence with regards to the 2017, with regards to new champions being entered into the game. It could even be a case that if they were to put in Modok, would they then change into be a science as opposed to maybe a tech? And that may be a good shout that what they do, they create this extremely strong science character around Modok, and you know, that could be this month. But obviously more to come on that next week. We're going to get the release of the you know, Act 5 Chapter 4, but also at the same time we'll get the event for December, so lots of things to really talk about in the coming week. And obviously have your say in the comments or on this forum post. Obviously, like I said, links are in the description below. Our next story is addressing this drive to 1 million Facebook likes. Now, as you know, this hasn't been a very strong drive, and it's a bit disappointing because we're more than likely gonna fail, and that's based on the amount. We had a real strong push with regards to likes in the very early beginning, but with regards to likes for the Facebook page have really dwindled off. The likes at the point of recording this video is 821,928, so it's not gonna get there, it really isn't. Now, it may be incredibly ambitious for Kabam to kind of say, right, okay, we need 250,000 likes by the 4th of December from the point of this post going live, which was November the 14th. Yeah, it was a good amount. Early pushes were kind of indicating that it was indeed possible, but then everything just started like tagging off, and it's then just pretty sad case of affairs to see that. So in some ways I'm a little bit disappointed with regards to the structure of this, but obviously I understand that we need to now look towards next year, and will they run anything with regards to the Facebook lights in future. But yeah, it just needs to be over social media accounts, like all social media accounts being like a million followers totaled or something, or 1 million likes totaled. That would be better for the community and more fairer, because obviously they must have known that this wasn't going to be as successful. If not, they should have then pushed it a bit further. I think on my estimates, if you kind of look at us potentially gaining like let's just say 1,000 followers, 1,000 likes a day on the Facebook account, then it's going to be hitting it about May time next year, which obviously is a bit ridiculous. We had that brief early flurry, which kind of gave us all this kind of, wow, this is actually could work, but at the same time then it flags off, which we didn't expect. So yeah, just need a few improvements with this. It needs to be all social media accounts in future. Kabam, please get it sorted. Our next story is a story about Colossus, and unfortunately this was something that didn't get as much traction as maybe it should do. And this is from someone that says, Colossus and Unstoppable Colossus whiff on the first spin, quite often special attack 2. This leads to a broken combo and beat down more often than not. And obviously a lot of people were kind of going like, well, I'm not really sure about this. A lot of people kind of questioning the issue, but then a lot of people are experiencing it. Kabam Wolf did respond on November the 29th, and he said, hey there, Orvilux. I did some testing and haven't seen this yet, so could you please let me know the opponent and the game mode where you most recently experienced this issue? Thanks so much for your patience. And obviously it's then been picked up, a YouTube video has been done, and then at the end Kabam Wolf says, all right, I was able to repro it after checking out your video. You're welcome for the views. Okay, thanks Kabam Wolf. I'm going to take this to the team and hopefully we can get a fix into 16.1. Thanks for bearing with me. Now, obviously, there's still a lot of inconsistencies with regards to characters in particular with certain things they're doing. But obviously, it's good to see that as of yesterday, that has been acknowledged, and it will be something that Colossus will be worked on for the next one going into, not next week, but a week after. The 13th, I think it is. No, in fact, it's Wednesday the 6th of December. Our final story, and probably one of my favourite stories that I've read, and it was nice. This is a bit of a funny story as well at the same time. I saw this and I thought, this is something I've got to put on MCC News. It's absolutely hilarious, and it is. Well, I think it could be true, so obviously don't take it with a pinch of salt, because someone may be actually really worried about someone. And it is the Ballad or the Saga of Kirby Robert Campbell. So this is posted by Chele86, who says, "Missing friends, going by game name of Octocp. Does anyone on here know him or have contact details? Please, very worried. All Irons members." Yes. He's going under the name John Connor now. This is from Dark Magic 1991. Telly responds with, "How do you know this?" MMX 1991 responds, "If he's really missing, then I hope he's okay. But this is also a scam way to find someone's personal information. Defo, not a scam. Do you have his line? Private mailed you. I think I'm getting trolled here. But if you're legitimately concerned about someone's safety, and you have good reason to fear for their safety with what you've said or insinuated, then call the police. If you're a troll, then go to hell. If you're a clingy group of kids and your friend's been missing for an hour, he's probably grounded by his parents. Relax. Defo not a troll. He's defo too old to be grounded by his parents. As am I. He's missing now, 12 days, and myself and 2 others have tried to contact him. You should have reported it to police, not in Kabam Forum. Troll alert. I'm not a troll. I don't live in the same country, so don't know the police work here or there. Why can't you go to his alliance? Why do you need us for this? P.S. It really should be the police. I'm in his alliance. None of us have heard from him. That's why I thought you all on here could maybe help. We've tried to get him online app with no luck. And again, different country. And don't know how police work. OTCLP. Log in 5 minutes ago, according to the game. He's kidnapped. Let him finish his AQ lane. Sounds like he's just not that into you. That was like, I thought I'd read it in that kind of way. But this is the saga of Kirby Robert Campbell. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope you enjoyed MCC News. Obviously, I've been RichTheMan. If you enjoyed any of the news stories that we covered today, the link's obviously in the description. Have a great Friday, whatever you're doing. I think we're going to see Justice League again this weekend and then get loads of content out to you guys. So have a great one. And as always, I shall catch you on the flip side. Bye-bye for now.